Tony Soprano may have bet on the wrong horse when Pie O My was turned into crispy corned beef. But which one of these stallions is going to get to the finish line first at the end of the season? But more importantly, which one of these teams won the January transfer window? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. If you didn't get the Soprano reference at the start, then I don't blame you, because that show absolutely sucks. And I guess Celtic suck as well, and they had a pretty poor transfer window. And I think this poll pretty much proves that. 82% have went with Rangers. There was 1.5k votes in total, and I don't even think Rangers had a great transfer window. I don't really care, but I was a little bit surprised that they never signed a striker. I thought that would be probably the position that they would be looking to improve the most on, considering how unimpressive Dessers is. And they got rid of Sam Lammers, but they haven't really done that. No, and Roof is injured and Danilo's injured. Basically, anybody up front is either injured or shit. So I expected Rangers to bring in a proven striker. They didn't do it, but Celtic brought in pretty much the equivalent of hee-haw. 3 million on Kuhn and then a flop from the Championship. So I can understand why 82% of people think Rangers indeed had the best transfer window.
Absolutely. And also, you got to bear in mind, this poll is about 3 weeks out of date. Now, it does say 2 weeks, but it is near enough 3 weeks. So
yes, but we did that on purpose because we wanted to give the players a chance to see how they got on, to see how they were performing. And we've seen how they're performing. Kuhn looks to be dog meat, and Adia has only scored 2 penalties, and that's not really enough for me.
Yeah, but you've got also, that's my point though, you've got to look at it from a perspective of, he hadn't scored those penalties against Hibs when most people voted on this video. Or this poll, sorry. So, either way, I think even at the time, Rangers had a better transfer window. You look weeks later, because obviously you got to base it off the impact they've had. Yes, Ida won them a game against Hibs, even though you could argue it was the referees. And Kuhn did get them an equaliser against Aberdeen.
He scored 2 penalties. I'd like to think anybody could do that.
Yeah, well, Tab does it every week, doesn't he?
Exactly, so I mean...
But look at Diamonde. Opens the scoring to put Rangers top of the league.
Now, yeah, Kuhn scored that penalty against... Kuhn scored that goal against Aberdeen, but outside of that, what's he done?
It was deflected as well.
Yeah, not a lot. So I've just been more impressed with the Rangers players. I think Cortez and Diamande just look to be better players than the two that Celtic brought in. But anyway, enough what we think. Let's get into the comments.
What about Fabio Silva? No praise for him, no?
I think he's been alright, but I don't know, that 40 million price tag that comes with him just puts too much expectations. See, when you hear that a £40 million player's coming to the Scottish Premiership, you expect them to light the whole place up.
Well, Gary, seriously, I never thought transfer windows win the league. Well,
kind of like Ralph lit up the barn, but anyway.
He did, right? Enough Sopranos references right before I get the ducks out.
Celtic fans are depressed like Tony, though.
That's it, that's very true. But yeah, hopefully they hold manos. But seriously, I never thought transfer windows win the league. I did say whoever won the transfer window would win the league, and if you look at this poll, you look at real life, is that what's happening?
This seems like a Celtic fan on the defensive here. I mean, your team's shite, they didn't improve in January, and they're slipping further behind.
It really is that simple, isn't it?
You can say transfer windows don't win the league, but if that's the case, then why are all the Celtic fans having a meltdown at the fact Celtic never spent their £70 million war chest in said transfer window? If transfer windows don't win the league, players win the league, and you acquire players in the transfer window. So what a stupid fucking comment, Gary. Maybe go back and delete it.
Transfers windows always win the league. Or lose the league.
Just like...
It's the difference.
Just like hiring managers and firing managers can win the league. Yeah, what a weird
right,
comment.
David says a win by 3 goals. Rangers, we can do this. Chris Boyd was right. More fans will be outside Portcade than in the stands. Haha, we are the people.
We are the people.
We are the people indeed. Mr. Freeland
says... Do you think we are the people could stand for we are the Premier League champions come the end of the season?
Comedic genius over here. Mr. Freeland says Sevco can add the transfer window trophy to the most Instagrammable stadium trophy they won. Well, mate, they'll be adding it next to Title 56 as well.
Was there a award given out for that?
I don't know. I don't give a shit about Instagram, to be perfectly honest. Josh Donaldson says the Sharks are out again. Watch they don't bite your arse. I like the Sharks. I like it quiet. Barry, I don't know about Celtic, but I'm not overly happy with Rangers' window. I think not bringing in a proven striker will cost us. I think everyone feels that opinion at Rangers. James1263 says, pedos, enough said. Thoughts?
And Jesus Christ, there's always one guy that has to go take it too far.
Anyway, Alan Burns says, who hates the old firm and thinks they ruin the competitiveness of the league? Well, I mean...
You know what? I would agree with Alan Burns if Celtic and Rangers went out and signed all the best players from the other clubs in this transfer window, but they didn't. This guy's making it sound like Rangers signed Shankland, Aberdeen, Celtic signed Miofsky, and they signed all the other best players. I mean, that's not the case.
No, it's not. Of course it's not. I think we've just got to acknowledge the fact that Celtic and Rangers are just a lot more better run than the other teams. No, see, I'm not denying that they've had advantages, right? And a bit more money, obviously, bigger stadiums. But you do have to admit that Rangers and Celtic over the past 40 years have just been better run than other teams, even though Rangers and Celtic have both died in the past 40 years.
I was going to say, better run. Fuck. I can't really talk. Hearts kind of went into administration as well.
Hibs kind of.
I mean, they've all fucked up, haven't they?
Maybe the antidote's shagging sheep or something.
That's the only way.
No, but
that's the only way to keep your club safe.
I think other teams just
Celtic and Rangers have been run well. Fuck right off.
No, but I think other clubs...
I ran out the league into the second division.
Was that the wrong thing?
Division.
Who's this
League
guy?
two.
Sacked the board.
Sack the board and the manager. Davy L says maybe if Hibs, Aberdeen and Hearts tried week in, week out against the smaller teams and they didn't let their performances drop, then they'd be just as good as Celtic. I mean, let's not pretend it's all about trying and it's not about money, okay? Let's just be honest here.
Not about money, I think Hearts could be very easily in a title fight this season if Naismith was good at the start of the season.
Matthew Cassidy says, congratulations to Rangers on winning the We Had the Better January Transfer Window Award. Special moment, as this is the fourth trophy in the club's history. I mean, all these comments, like they're coming back to age like milk.
Yep.
Because it's almost like these comments are being made suggesting that Rangers are bragging about winning the transfer window, but they ain't going to be winning anything else. But I mean, in all likelihood, it looks like Rangers are going to win the league. You would have to imagine Rangers are probably favourites for the Scottish Cup because they're currently the best team in the country and they've already won the League Cup and they're the only team in Scotland that can still win a European Cup. So, I mean, we can talk about Rangers having to fill up the gaps in the trophy cabinet with some fake January transfer window award, but I mean, I think Rangers will be doing all right come the end of the season.
Yeah, but it's not like Rangers have posted this poll, it was us. Alright.
Maybe Celtic need to put we have a £70 million war chest trophy in their trophy cabinet.
Absolutely, but anyway, let's move on to this comment. I know you're dying to read this long one out.
For fuck's sake, user drag350B9U. Did you need to do this to me? Anyway, hold on. None of very, very underwhelming Jan window by both clubs as well as all the clubs around the world. Hardly had any big movement. Come on, peeps. They've got to the point I said they would a few years back. They paid that much for players. Now it's for the point T cannot afford an average player from a decent team as they're costing 10, 15 million. Whereas a few years ago, he'd have been worth between 2 to 5 million. It went bonkers. It's all their own doing. They need to somehow bring the prices down and wages simple as a business for its own good. These prices need to get sorted and put back to fair pricing. It's not about how good you are anymore. It's about what team you're playing for are classed as even a middle of the Premier League team. One of the ones constantly they are selling their players at ridiculous prices end up in Scotland. We don't get paid enough for ours as a whole league because it's the league they play in. Surely it's the individual style and how good of player it is you're after. Shouldn't matter who he plays for. Sick again of our club holding out for this Sagigal mark. This Sagigal mark of 25 mils.
I think he meant this magical
out
mark.
For another 5 mil. At least he's our player. If said club doesn't want to pay it, well, great. He's still our player as he's under contract, which are only there for in the case we do sell them. We get more buck wind off rant Obi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But anymore, that's disappointed about the window. Go Ahmed Habba. Look at the rest of the world football. They're exactly the same. Hail, hail, moan the hoops. The day against the Dons Ida to score. I'm taking Baz tips. I think I'm taking something for sure. Like I don't know what it is, but that was a mouthful to read. Jesus Christ! I mean, back before Celtic played Aberdeen, it was looking better for them. They had a wee bit of an advantage, and they had an advantage in the goal difference department as well.
Yeah, now look at hee-haw.
Hee-haw.
Hee-haw. Anyway, let's move on. Hee-haw. Right, John.
I want to see what the replies to that is.
Oh God. How did that go? Yeah. Alright, John says Celtic had the worst transfer window of any club in Europe compared to what we need at Rangers. Would have had a better window than Celtic even if they signed no players. If Rangers don't win it this season, they never will.
Like, I see what John's going for here, right? But surely for him to make that statement, he would have to know every club, right, in Europe. He'd need to know all the transfers in and out that all these clubs made, and he would need to know the situation all these clubs were in order to make that statement and make the comparison to Celtic, which I don't think anybody's got the time to do.
Fair enough. Quadruple Treble says it's all.
Is that all we're getting? Fair enough.
Aye, I mean, there's enough comments to go here. So, right, it's all about the Celtic. Wee bit quiet recently, this guy, but 2 weeks ago he was loud and proud.
Let's see what these replies are saying.
Right, let's see what these replies are saying.
We'll have a good reply. Pity yous were utter shite today. Laugh out loud. All you need to shut your mouths. Absolutely fantastic score. Well done, Septic. Should. All about Rangers. League Cup, League winners to be, Scottish Cup winners to be, in the last 16 of Europe. All about the Rangers, mate. It's all about the Rangers. Quadruple. Rangers died 2012. You're Sevco now. 54 unshared titles on the way to paradise. Come on, the hoops. Unshared titles?
I don't know.
Rangers have a shared title with Dumbarton?
Aye, like the first
one.
Or is it
Dunfermline?
It's Dumbarton.
Dumbarton, right.
Dumbarton Central.
Pure loyalist. Yous are getting fuck all apart from a summons for court to pay your victims clown. Fergus McCann, PLC, Athletic FC. Never administration, never liquidation, never relegation. Fucking hell, that's like prime John Cena there with the raps. One club since 1888, it's the Celtic way, come on the hoops. What's on that?
I could have said something there, but fog football might not have lasted much longer.
No, don't say it then.
Right, anyway, Jungle Boy says another virtual trophy for the new Rangers. Thoughts on that?
You know, it's sad, right? Even if we claim Rangers are a new club since 2012, see by the end of 2030, it's a very good chance Rangers will be the second most successful club in Scotland.
Absolutely.
Which is just kind of mind-boggling how in like a space of probably like another decade, Rangers could win more trophies than the third, fourth, fifth biggest club in Scotland. I think that just goes to show you like how dominant the top two can be and the lack of trophies that the rest of the league have won. But I mean, whatever. Well, it's not really worth talking about because it's...
Right, James Duffy's took it bad. He says, what a stupid question. Get a grip. Who gives a toss?
Well, I mean, considering Celtic fans are greeting about the lack of players coming in, I would say they give a toss. I mean,
1,500 people vote it, and there's like 100 comments, mate. So there's enough people that care.
Yeah, imagine Celtic are like on the fair just fucking signing Messi, but then James Duffy says, who gives a toss? Then they just decide, well, in that case we won't sign him then last day. I mean, what a retarded comment.
What a retarded comment there.
Let's move on to the next retarded
Nobody cares,
comment.
Alright. Okay. Pretty much in the same ballpark.
Francis Healy, well done on winning the best transfer window cup.
Thank you.
See, all these comments are coming back to bite because, I mean, people are kind of assuming that this is just bragging about Rangers' transfer window. I mean, we never said Rangers had a better transfer window. All we did was put a poll up.
Yep.
If the majority of the people believe Rangers had a better transfer window, then that's up to them.
Absolutely.
But we weren't suggesting by any means that Rangers had the best. We're just asking a question.
No, but I mean, the facts of the matter is this.
Celtic fans are very defensive here.
The 23rd of February, I think Celtic's... Well, I know Celtic's January signings have won them more points than Rangers' January signings.
Oh, that's because the idea's on the penalties, though.
But it's still facts. You could argue from that point of view they've technically had a better window.
I could have scored those 2 pens.
Anyway. Or what about Kuhn's deflected shot? Could you have scored that?
Depends if the deflected guy was still new. Martin Stillwell said, my interest in football's at an all-time low. Can't remember when I actually watched a full game. Life used to revolve around it. Now it's nah. Yeah, right, fair enough.
Is he talking from the perspective of the dog, or...?
I don't know. John McGinty says, fuck the Huns. User said, if that's winning, wow. Well, I mean, we're asking who's won between the two teams, Celtic and Rangers. who had the better transfer window. Doesn't mean you're necessarily a winner. We're just asking out of the two who had the better window. I don't see why people are getting so upset with this.
Yeah.
Paul Doherty, transfer window trophy.
They would complain about anything we just said. Gingerbread Man says, can you transfer a face painter? Oh yeah. Daniel says, already have one. Do you get a trophy for that? Maybe. Flexi says, anyone been to a football game before? Asking for a friend. Plenty and more to come. What about you on the Kings 11?
What kind of fucking comment is that?
Have you been to a football game
all
before?
the time?
When?
Colin Williams, the Skinwalkers will get done tomorrow off Aberdeen as they will turn up now that Robson is gone.
You were kind of right.
The transfer window champion says Ian McKenzie. Chris Patterson says, how much victims actually deserve?
I don't know if that's a Celtic or a Rangers fan commenting that.
I don't know.
Should we check the replies or?
Go for it.
Go for it, okay. Oh, it's everyone's favourite.
He's been gone for a while.
Is that the health service, the education service, or every person in the small Presbyterian colony that you cheated for years you're on about? Matty Miles sticking to... Oh, look at this.
You stick to your fake news first, mate. Your fuck the Pope comments that you make.
George Moffat says, Raph, you at it again, spouting pish for Epstein. I'm probably sitting there with a man nappy on chugging to old photos of Tommy. Right, anyway, right, we could read these comments all day if we wanted to, right, but it's... Old Firm died in 2012. Very good. AR, when you look at the bigger picture, it seems no one has really signed any more than 2 players. A strange window all round. Stuart Ramsey says, Rangers had to sign a striker with Seaman, Daniel Lewitt. Fucking joke. Also, Roof Soup. I mean, he's made a Weetabix. Steph Garvey says, no striker, but I think we can do it with a manager like Phil. Anything's possible. Go Gers. And that is the last comment. So how would you sum up this transfer window poll?
I think Rangers won it. I don't think they done great. I think they should have signed a striker. I think they could have done more, could have spent more money. Pretty strange with the loan to buy options. I don't quite understand that. Why not just pay the money up front? Are they relying on winning the league in order to make these transfers happen? I don't know. As for Celtic, Brendan Rodgers spoke about how he wanted to bring in 4 quality players. I mean, he only got 2 players in, and I think we could definitely debate whether or not they're quality. So,
no, let's be honest though, they didn't need Nicholas Kuhn. He's a winger. They've got loads of wingers.
Aye,
you could have not signed Kuhn, right, and kept Mikey Johnston.
Yeah, I mean, is Kuhn a massive upgrade on
also
Mikey
the
Johnston?
fact that Abada's not... I mean, he's probably played his last game. So again, you're losing him for what, peanuts? And he scored 2 goals against Hibs. Crucial 3 points for Celtic, potentially. Can't take it away from him, but realistically, anyone can score 2 penalties, as you said. Still had to do it. Now, Celtic were missing penalties left, right and centre. I think you've still got to give him credit. But at the end of the day, it's not like if they didn't sign him, that means they would have automatically lost that game.
Yep.
So,
right.
Overall, guys, I think Rangers did have the better transfer window. But at the same time, we'll have to judge this completely more in May. Because Ida could turn into a goal-scoring machine. Nicholas Kuhn could turn into the best winger. Who is the best winger in Scottish Premiership history? Here you go. There's a wee bit of fun
best
fact.
Winger in Scottish Premiership history. Who
so
is it?
Would that mean the last 11 years? Or are we talking? Because obviously since the rebranding.
Well, I mean, the last 11 years is probably longevity, or do you mean who had the highest window?
Who was the best? Who was at the peak of their powers, man? Who was him?
Maybe Jota? I don't know.
Yeah, Jota's probably up there, guys. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave this video. Big Jota, Celtic would take him back, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Might get him in the summer, you never know. But until then, peace.